The crystal cathedral of Valdris gleamed like a jewel against the purple sky. 2 moons hung overhead as hundreds of alien delegates filled the massive hall. Today marked the most important wedding in galactic history. Princess Zara would marry Prince Kale, uniting 2 of the most powerful empires in known space. Princess Zara stood at the altar wearing robes of silver starlight. Her blue skin shimmered with ceremonial paint, and the crown of her ancestors rested on her head. She looked beautiful, but her golden eyes showed no joy. This marriage was not about love. It was about survival. Prince Kale waited beside her, tall and proud. His red scales caught the light from the crystal walls. His people, the Draknari, controlled the eastern spiral arm with their powerful fleet. Zara's people, the Valdrians, ruled the central worlds with their advanced technology. Together, they would be unstoppable against the growing threat that plagued the galaxy. Emperor Dran, Zara's father, watched from his throne. His weathered face showed relief. For months, Void Raiders had attacked outer colonies. These mysterious enemies destroyed everything in their path. No one knew who they were or what they wanted. They appeared from empty space, struck without warning, and vanished before help could arrive. The wedding would create the alliance needed to stop them. Both empires would combine their forces. The Draknari would provide warriors and ships. The Valdrians would offer their superior weapons and shields. It was the perfect plan. Around the cathedral, delegates from dozens of worlds observed the ceremony. The insectoid hive lords clicked their approval with sharp mandibles. Energy beings from the plasma nebulae flickered in ancient patterns of respect. Scaled ambassadors from the outer rim nodded their massive heads. High Priest Vaughn began the binding ritual. His voice echoed through the hall as he spoke the words that would link 2 souls across the stars. By the power of the ancient laws, by the blessing of the cosmic void, we gather to witness the union of 2 noble houses. Zara felt the weight of destiny on her shoulders. She had trained her whole life for this moment. A princess must sacrifice for her people. Personal desires meant nothing when billions of lives hung in the balance. But as the priest continued, something stirred in her heart. Reports had been reaching the palace for weeks. Disturbing stories from the front lines. Stories about how the Alliance was fighting this war. Princess Zara, the priest said, do you accept this bond freely and willingly? The cathedral fell silent. Every eye focused on the princess. She opened her mouth to say the ritual words, then stopped. The words would not come. I cannot, she whispered. The priest blinked in confusion. Your Highness. I cannot proceed with this ceremony, Zara said louder. Gasps rippled through the crowd. Prince Kale's eyes widened in shock. Emperor Dran half rose from his throne. Daughter, what are you saying? The emperor demanded. Zara turned to face the assembled delegates. Her voice grew stronger with each word. I have learned things about how we fight this war. Things that shame me as a princess and as a person. This is madness, Prince Kale hissed. You would dishonor both our houses for foolish sentiment. Not sentiment, Zara replied. Justice. She stepped forward, addressing the crowd directly. For months, we have used humans as expendable soldiers. We send them to die while we plan from safety. We treat them like animals, not allies. General Thax, the Draknari war leader, laughed harshly. Humans. You stop this sacred ceremony for those primitive creatures. They exist to serve their betters. Nothing more. They are fighting and dying for us, Zara shot back. The least we can do is treat them with respect. Ambassador Kelm of the Hive Lords clicked his mandibles dismissively. Humans breed quickly and think slowly. They make perfect cannon fodder. Why waste superior beings when humans serve the purpose? Emperor Dran's face darkened with anger. Zara, you embarrass our family and our people. These humans volunteered to fight. We did not force them. Did we offer them any choice? Zara asked. Did we tell them they would be sent to die while we stayed safe? Did we explain that their lives mean nothing to us? Prince Kale stepped closer to her. Your emotions cloud your judgment, princess. Humans lack the intelligence for real strategy. They can only follow simple orders. Using them as soldiers is logical and efficient. I want to meet with their commander, Zara announced. The cathedral erupted in shocked voices. Delegates shouted in a dozen alien languages. The priest stumbled backward as if struck. Absolutely not, General Thax declared. No royal should lower themselves to speak with such creatures. Then I will not marry, Zara said calmly. The threat hit like a physical blow. Without this marriage, there would be no alliance. Without the alliance, both empires would fall to the Void Raiders. Zara held the future of trillions of beings in her hands. Emperor Dron stood slowly. His voice carried the authority of absolute power. You would risk everything for misguided sympathy. I would risk everything to do what is right, Zara answered. Prince Kale's family clustered together, speaking in urgent whispers. Their military support was crucial to any defense plan. If they withdrew from the alliance, the Void Raiders would roll over the remaining worlds like a tide of destruction. 5 minutes, General Thax said finally. Bring the human leader here. Let the princess see what manner of creature she defends. When she witnesses their stupidity firsthand, this nonsense will end. Emperor Dron nodded reluctantly. Very well. Summon the human commander. But this delay costs us precious time. Every moment we waste here, the Void Raiders grow stronger. Messages were sent across the communication networks. The human forces were stationed on the moon's surface, preparing for deployment to the outer defense lines. Their commander would be brought to the cathedral immediately. While they waited, the delegates voiced their opinions freely. Most thought Zara had lost her mind. A few wondered if stress had affected her judgment. None supported her decision. Humans have served in our armies for 3 years, Ambassador Kelm pointed out. Never once have they complained about their duties. They follow orders without question. What more could any commander want? Exactly, Prince Kale agreed. They are content with their role. Why should we change what works? Because using people as disposable tools is wrong, Zara insisted. People? General Thax snorted. Humans barely qualify as sentient. Their technology is centuries behind ours. Their weapons are crude. Their ships are slow. They contribute nothing except bodies to fill gaps in our battle lines. Then why do they keep volunteering to fight? Zara asked. Because they are too stupid to understand the danger, the general replied. 20 minutes passed before heavy footsteps echoed in the cathedral entrance. Guards marched in formation, surrounding a small group of figures in battle-worn uniforms. The human delegation had arrived. The leader wore simple gray combat gear marked with scars and burns. Her dark hair was pulled back in a practical style. She carried no ceremonial weapons or fancy decorations. Everything about her spoke of someone who had seen real combat. The guards halted before the altar. The human commander stepped forward and gave a basic military salute. No bowing or elaborate rituals. Just professional respect. Commander Anna reporting as ordered, she said in clear, simple words. The alien nobles looked down at her with obvious disgust. She was shorter than most of them and carried herself like a common soldier rather than a dignified officer. Her equipment was clearly inferior to anything in the cathedral. But Princess Zara noticed something the others missed. The humans' eyes were not empty or defeated. They held intelligence and awareness. This was not the mindless creature the generals described. Commander Anna, Zara said, stepping closer. I want to understand your people's role in our war against the Void Raiders. Anna glanced around the cathedral, taking in the assembled delegates with a quick, professional assessment. My people fight where we are sent, Your Highness. We follow the orders we receive. And what orders have you received? Zara asked. Hold impossible positions with insufficient support until relieved or overrun, Anna replied without emotion. General Thax moved forward aggressively. You complain about your duties, human. We provide you with weapons and targets. What more do you need? Anna looked at him steadily. I do not complain, sir. I state facts. My soldiers know their chances when we deploy. They accept those chances. Because they are too primitive to understand, Ambassador Kelm clicked. Your species lacks the mental capacity for complex strategy. Perhaps, Anna said quietly. We certainly think differently than you do. Prince Kale smiled coldly. At least the creature admits its limitations. Now can we proceed with important matters? But Princess Zara was studying the human commander more carefully. There was something in Anna's tone that suggested deeper thoughts behind her simple words. Commander Anna, Zara said, in your opinion, why do the Void Raiders always seem to know where our forces will be? The question surprised everyone. It was classified information that raiders consistently anticipated their battle plans. Anna was quiet for a moment. Permission to speak freely, Your Highness. Granted. The raids follow patterns that suggest advanced intelligence gathering. Either they have infiltrated our communications or they understand our strategic thinking well enough to predict our responses. The cathedral fell silent. Anna had just expressed in simple terms what the Alliance's best military minds had struggled to explain. Impossible, General Thax snapped. Our security is perfect. No enemy could penetrate our networks. Then they predict our moves, Anna said calmly. Which means they know how we think. Emperor Dron leaned forward on his throne. And how should we change our thinking, human? I would not presume to advise my superiors, Anna replied. But humans have survived by being unpredictable. Sometimes the illogical choice is the right choice. Princess Zara felt a spark of hope. This was not the primitive creature her advisors described. This was someone who saw problems from a completely different perspective. What would you do differently? Zara pressed. Anna hesitated. Your Highness, I am not qualified to make strategic decisions for superior beings. I am asking for your thoughts, not your qualifications, Zara said firmly. Anna took a breath. The Void Raiders expect us to defend our strongest positions and abandon our weakest. They plan accordingly. If we reversed that pattern, defended the weak points and abandoned the strong ones, it might confuse their calculations. The military leaders exchanged glances. The suggestion was so simple it sounded foolish. But it was also completely unexpected. Madness, General Thax declared. Abandon our fortress worlds to protect mining colonies? No competent commander would consider such stupidity. Exactly, Anna said quietly. That single word hung in the air like a challenge. Princess Zara began to understand what she was seeing. Human thinking was not inferior to alien logic. It was fundamentally different. And that difference might be exactly what they needed. But before she could ask more questions, alarms began wailing across the cathedral. Emergency lights flashed red and blue. The ceremony had been interrupted by something far more serious than royal doubts. Battle stations. General Thax shouted into his communicator. All units respond immediately. Through the crystal walls, they could see ships materializing in the sky above. Dark vessels with strange designs that seemed to bend light around them. The Void Raiders had found Valdris. The wedding guests scattered in panic. Guards rushed to defensive positions. Prince Kale grabbed his ceremonial sword as if it could help against starship weapons. But Commander Anna was already moving. She spoke quickly into her own communicator, issuing orders to her troops on the moon's surface. Her voice was calm and professional despite the chaos around her. Princess Zara watched the human commander organize a defense with inferior forces while the alien military leaders shouted conflicting orders at each other. Maybe, she thought, it was time to try something completely different. The Void Raider ships descended like black daggers against the purple sky. Their hulls seemed to absorb light, making them difficult to track with normal sensors. Emergency sirens wailed across the Crystal Cathedral as panic spread through the wedding guests. All defensive batteries, target the lead ships, General Thax commanded into his communicator. Deploy fighter squadrons immediately. But Commander Anna was already 3 steps ahead. She had studied Void Raider tactics for 3 years. While the alien commanders shouted orders, she spoke quietly to her own forces. Luna Base, this is Anna. Pattern Delta 7. Repeat, Pattern Delta 7. Princess Zara heard the calm authority in the human's voice. What is Pattern Delta 7? She asked. Controlled retreat with hidden counterattack positions, Anna explained while watching the enemy ships maneuver. The raiders expect us to meet them head-on. Instead, we let them think they are winning while we set traps. Through the crystal walls, they watched the first wave of defending ships rise to meet the attackers. Draknari fighters with their superior speed and Valdrian cruisers with advanced shields moved in perfect formation according to standard battle doctrine. The Void Raiders tore through them like they were made of paper. Impossible, Prince Kale breathed. Our ships are the finest in the galaxy. Anna continued giving orders to her human forces. Second wave, fall back to the moon's shadow. Third wave, power down and drift. Fourth wave, prepare surprise positions. General Thax spun toward her angrily. Human, you have no authority to command anything. Your primitive tactics will only get more soldiers killed. Sir, my people are already in position, Anna replied calmly. We can support the main defense or withdraw. Your choice. Before the general could answer, the Void Raider ships broke through the first defense line and began bombing the planet's surface. The cathedral shook as energy blasts struck nearby buildings. Emperor Dron stood from his throne. All civilians to emergency shelters immediately. Guards, escort the wedding guests to safety. But the alien guests were too panicked to move in organized groups. Insectoid delegates scuttled in circles. Energy beings flickered wildly with fear. The massive scaled ambassadors blocked doorways in their rush to escape. Commander Anna looked at the chaos and made a quick decision. Princess, I need your help. My help? Zara asked, surprised. These people respect you. They will follow your orders when they will not listen to anyone else. I can organize an evacuation, but I need someone they trust to lead it. Princess Zara had been trained in diplomacy and ceremonies, not military operations. But she could see that Anna's plan made sense. The human commander was thinking clearly while everyone else panicked. What do you need me to do? Zara asked. Stand on that platform and give clear, simple orders. Tell the Hive Lords to form groups of 10. Tell the energy beings to provide light for the corridors. Tell the scaled ambassadors to help carry injured guests. Make them work together instead of fighting each other. Zara climbed onto the ceremonial platform and raised her voice. Citizens of the galaxy, hear me. We will evacuate in organized groups. Hive Lord delegates, form protective circles around the smaller guests. Energy beings, illuminate the escape routes. Scaled ambassadors, assist anyone who cannot move quickly. The authority in her voice cut through the panic. Alien guests began following her instructions instead of running wild. Commander Anna moved among them, gently guiding the groups toward the safest exits. Meanwhile, the battle raged in the sky above. More Void Raider ships appeared every minute. The regular fleet was being pushed back despite their advanced technology. Sir, Anna said to General Thax, permission to deploy human forces. Do whatever you want, the general snapped. Your primitive ships will not make any difference. Anna spoke into her communicator. All units, execute pattern Delta 7. Show them what humans do best. From hidden positions around the moon, human ships emerged. They were old and battered compared to the gleaming alien vessels. Their weapons were less powerful and their shields weaker. But they moved in ways that confused both sides of the battle. Instead of attacking the Void Raider ships directly, the human forces targeted the space around them. They fired at empty areas where enemy ships would be in 30 seconds. They used the debris from destroyed vessels as cover and weapons. They coordinated with pinpoint timing despite using basic communication equipment. What are they doing? Prince Kale asked, watching the strange human tactics. Fighting smart instead of fighting hard, Anna explained. We cannot match your technology, so we have learned to think differently. One group of human ships pretended to be destroyed, drifting powerless through the battle zone. When Void Raider ships moved in to finish them off, the humans suddenly powered up and attacked at close range where the enemy's advanced weapons could not target them effectively. Another human squadron used the cathedral's crystal spires as a giant communications array, bouncing signals around the planet to coordinate strikes from impossible angles. Clever, Emperor Drawn admitted grudgingly. But the main enemy fleet is still advancing. Your tricks cannot stop their full assault. That was when Commander Anna noticed something that changed everything. Princess, she said urgently, I need to speak with the Void Raider commander. What? General Thax exploded. Those monsters do not negotiate. They only destroy. They are not monsters, Anna said quietly. I have been studying their attack patterns for 3 years. They target military installations and government buildings, but they avoid civilian areas. They destroy fleets but they do not hunt down escape pods. They fight like soldiers, not mindless killers. Princess Zara stared at the human commander. You think they can be reasoned with? I think they are trying to accomplish something specific, not just cause random destruction. If we knew what they wanted, we might find a solution that does not require anyone to die. Impossible, Ambassador Kelm clicked. The Void Raiders have never responded to any communication attempts. Because we have only sent them demands to surrender, Anna pointed out. Has anyone ever asked them what they want? The cathedral shook again as more bombs struck the city. Through the crystal walls, they could see fires spreading across the capital. The human evacuation plan was working, but not quickly enough to save everyone. Do it, Princess Zara decided suddenly. Your Highness, General Thax protested, this is madness. Open a channel to the Void Raider flagship, Zara commanded. Commander Anna will speak for the Alliance. I will speak, Emperor Drawn corrected. As ruler of Valdris. With respect, Your Majesty, Anna said, they have been fighting your fleets for months. They expect threats and challenges from you. They have never heard from humans before. Sometimes the unexpected voice is the one that gets through. Emperor Drawn hesitated, then nodded. Open the channel. The communications officer worked frantically to establish contact. Static filled the cathedral as the signal struggled to reach the enemy flagship. Then, suddenly, a voice responded. It was not the harsh growl or alien screech that everyone expected. The voice was tired and filled with old pain. Who speaks for the crystal world? The voice asked in perfectly clear galactic common. Commander Anna of the Human Defense Forces, Anna replied calmly. I speak for all who wish to find peace instead of war. Silence stretched for long seconds. Then, humans. The young species from the small blue world. Yes, Anna confirmed. We are new to this galaxy, but we have learned something about fighting and dying. We have also learned something about stopping fights before they go too far. Interesting, the voice said. And what would humans say to the Forgotten Ones? The name sent shock through the alien delegates. The Forgotten Ones were a legend. An ancient species that had ruled the galaxy millions of years ago before mysteriously disappearing. Everyone assumed they were extinct. I would ask why you have returned, Anna said simply. Because our home worlds are dying, the voice replied with deep sadness. The stars we once called home have grown cold. The planets we built have turned to dust. We seek new worlds where our children might live. So you attack our colonies, General Thax interrupted angrily. We attack your military forces, the voice corrected. We have no wish to harm innocents. But you have built your cities on the worlds that once belonged to us. You have claimed as your own the stars where our ancestors were born. Those worlds have been uninhabited for millions of years, Emperor Dron protested. Because we were driven away by the great disaster that consumed our civilization, the voice said. But they are still our birthright. Still our home. Commander Anna stepped forward. What if there was another solution? What if we could find worlds for your people without taking away the homes that others have built? Impossible, the voice said, but with less certainty. The galaxy is fully settled. There is no room for the forgotten ones. The galaxy is vast, Anna replied. Our human scientists have discovered thousands of worlds that could support life but are not yet inhabited. We have also learned techniques for transforming dead planets into living ones. Perhaps we could work together instead of fighting each other. The alien delegate stared at Anna in amazement. She was proposing to solve a galactic war with cooperation and shared resources. It was a completely human approach to an impossible problem. You would share your terraforming technology, the voice asked suspiciously. If you would share your ancient knowledge, Anna answered. Your people built wonders that we are still trying to understand. Together, we might create new worlds for everyone. Prince Kale moved closer to Princess Zara. She is offering to give away our greatest advantages, he whispered urgently. She is offering to end a war, Zara whispered back. The communication channel crackled as the Void Raider commander considered the proposal. Around them, the battle continued, but with less intensity. Both sides seemed to be waiting for the outcome of this impossible conversation. And if we agreed to this cooperation, the voice said slowly, what assurance would we have that you would honor such an agreement? You would have the word of humans, Anna said firmly. My people understand what it means to lose a home and search for a new one. We will not break faith with others who seek the same thing we once needed. The word of humans, the voice repeated thoughtfully. A species we have heard little about. Judge us by our actions, Anna suggested. Right now, my ships could attack your fleet while you are focused on this conversation. Instead, they are helping evacuate civilians from areas your forces might need to target. That should tell you something about human priorities. Long minutes passed in tense silence. Then, gradually, the sounds of battle began to fade. Weapons stopped firing. Ships moved to neutral positions. The Forgotten Ones accept your proposal for discussion, the voice said finally. But we will need proof of good faith. Evidence that this is not simply a trick to make us vulnerable. What kind of proof? Anna asked. Your alliance has treated humans as expendable soldiers, the voice said. If you truly value cooperation over domination, you will change this practice immediately. Princess Zara felt her heart leap. The Forgotten Ones had given her exactly the opening she needed. Done, she announced loudly. From this moment, humans are full partners in any galactic alliance. They will have equal representation in all decisions and equal protection under all treaties. Your Highness, General Thax protested, you cannot make such promises without approval from the Council. I am making them with the full authority of the Valdrian throne, Zara declared. And as my first act under this new partnership, I am dissolving the arranged marriage that would have created an alliance based on military domination rather than mutual respect. Prince Kale stepped back as if slapped. You would break our engagement for these primitives? I would break our engagement for a better future, Zara replied. One where strength comes from diversity rather than uniformity. Where intelligence is measured by wisdom rather than technology. Where all species contribute their unique gifts instead of some being used as tools by others. Commander Anna looked at the princess with surprise and growing respect. Your Highness, you do not need to make such sacrifices for my people. I am not making a sacrifice, Zara said with a smile. I am making a choice. The right choice. The communication channel activated again. The Forgotten Ones are impressed by this display of honor. We agree to send representatives to discuss permanent peace. Our forces will withdraw to neutral space while negotiations proceed. Across the sky, the dark ships began moving away from the planet. The immediate threat was over, but the real work was just beginning. This is unprecedented, Ambassador Kelm clicked nervously. The political implications are staggering. The survival implications are more important, Emperor Dron said firmly. My daughter has shown wisdom beyond her years. If humanity can help us avoid future wars through diplomacy rather than force, they have earned their place as equals. Commander Anna turned to Princess Zara. Your Highness, my people will be honored to serve as partners rather than expendable tools. We will not disappoint your faith in us. I know you will not, Zara replied. Because humans understand something that we forgot. Sometimes the strongest choice is to show mercy. Sometimes the smartest strategy is to make friends instead of enemies. As the alien delegates slowly returned to their seats, many still shocked by the rapid changes, Princess Zara made one final announcement. The wedding ceremony is officially cancelled. But I propose a new ceremony in its place. A celebration of the first Galactic Peace Accords, where 3 species commit to building a future together based on mutual respect and shared knowledge. General Thax shook his head in amazement. One human commander has changed the course of galactic history in a single afternoon. No, Princess Zara corrected. One human commander showed us that history does not have to repeat the same patterns of domination and conflict. The rest was our choice to listen and learn. Commander Anna smiled quietly. Sometimes the most powerful weapon is the willingness to put it down. As the sun set over Voldris, the Crystal Cathedral became the site of a very different kind of ceremony. Instead of uniting 2 empires through marriage, it became the birthplace of an alliance that would reshape the galaxy through cooperation, understanding, and the simple human belief that there was always a better way to solve problems than fighting. The princess had stopped a wedding and started a revolution. And it all began with seeing past expectations to recognize the true worth of those who had been overlooked and undervalued. In the years that followed, humans would become known throughout the galaxy not as expendable soldiers, but as the species that taught everyone else how to turn enemies into allies and how to find hope in the darkest conflicts. It was, as many would later say, the most important interrupted wedding in galactic history.